Hey, thanks for tuning in. Timothy Ross here. I came across a really good article here, caught my attention, the headline. We all know headlines catch our attention, and usually they're negative. Now, this one here, I think, has a very positive twist to it. And it starts out, anyway, it's in the Mind and Body section of the Epoch Times, and it's from July the 8th to the 14th, 2021. So, some other little topics in here: brain benefits from moving your body, heal the small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And the main feature: why paying attention to this moment creates your best future. And a little picture of a guy, I was going to say snowboarding, but obviously he's surfing on the ocean on a big wave. I've never done that before. Tried windsurfing once, and I must say it was down in the Dominican Republic. It was quite an experience, and took a lot out of me. But I was probably a little bit overweight there, just kind of like I am now, but weighed less. And anyway, you got to be fit to be doing some of these things. Anyway, living in the moment is the first step to a responsible, enjoyable adult life. Wow, that's quite a statement. So many of the moments that make up our life slip by in a cloud of extraneous thinking. The article is written by Nancy Collier, and it goes on to saying, living in the present moment is at the heart of all mindfulness teaching and the essence of well-being. But what is it, this thing we all call being present? I'm not sure we all share the same answers, or if it even matters that we do. What does matter is that we know what being present means for ourselves in a practical way, and perhaps too that we have a sense of why we even want to be in the present. Where'd I go? In the present. I guess I wasn't in the present. I lost my spot here. Okay, and perhaps too that we have a sense of why we even want to be in the present moment as an intention for our lives. There's something inherent in all human beings that longs to feel connected to everyone and everything else. At a deep level, we want to heal our fundamental aloneness. When we're fully present, we feel connected to life and everything in it. We are part of the moment inside it. So too there exists a drive within us to directly experience life and know our experience more intimately than we can through any idea, concept, memory, or fantasy. We're going to take a 2-second coffee break. Now, we crave the flow experience to be fully absorbed into an activity to the point where the separation between doer and doing evaporates and all notions of time disappear. We want ultimately to return to a state of oneness. We seem to remember at a psychic level. On a more immediate level, we want to be in the present moment because the distracted experience of not being present feels unsatisfying. It leaves us feeling empty, unfulfilled, and unreal, like ghosts in our own lives. The whole adventure slipping past us. Wow, that's pretty deep. Now, profound regret appears for so many when they realize that they've missed out on their life. Not being present is like winning a ticket to the most amazing adventure ever created and choosing not to attend. We want to be present so that we can be in the game while this amazing opportunity is here. Now I gotta flip over and find the next page. And it's on page 4, so just bear with me as you hear the rustle of things. One of the reasons I came up with the idea of be the adventure. I like that little saying, be the adventure. Be in the moment. Now here we go. Where are we? Okay. Being in the present moment includes a few fundamental practices. Most of all, it involves experiencing what happens in our senses right now. It feels what our body is feeling inside and out, seeing what we're seeing, smelling what we're smelling, tasting what we're tasting, and hearing what we're hearing. I think sometimes I miss that hearing what I'm hearing moment, especially if I got stuff going on. Maybe I'm listening to my headset and someone's talking to me, and yeah. So anyway, as it's happening. It means experiencing the feelings and sensations through our body and not our mind's interpretation of them. Being present means not thinking about our past nor projecting our future. It means paying attention to this moment. We've all projected the future, so an idea would be thinking about what to ask the person next while they're talking to you and explaining what they just happened. Anyway, so it means paying attention to this moment as it's arising through our senses without judgment or commentary. While being present means not being engaged in thinking, it's important to mention that being present doesn't require the absence of thought. There's an out. Now, being in the present moment doesn't mean the mind stops producing thoughts. Probably is thinking even more thoughts. And thoughts in and of themselves are not a problem for presence. Thoughts happen. They can keep coming no matter how present we are. To be present with thoughts involves being aware of the fact that thoughts are appearing. But, and here's the big but, without identifying with those thoughts, in other words, noticing the presence of thoughts without getting involved in their stories, content, or going down the rabbit hole into which they are beacon. I talk about rabbit holes a lot. Now, being in the present moment means directly experiencing what's arising in the body and the senses, which also includes paying attention to what's happening in the mind. Simultaneously, living in the present moment involves experiencing whatever's happening right now without an agenda for where it needs to lead us. Being present is turning our attention to right now without trying to build this moment into a desired outcome. Many of us, myself included, struggle with this more subtle aspect of present. Deep within us, there exists a drive to make something with our moments, to move our life in a positive direction that will create what we want. They're really moving this article around. I gotta go to another page. So I think this is, I wouldn't call it a filler article, but definitely they're moving it around. They're in their moment. Okay, let's see. Continued. As we're living this moment, a part of us sometimes unconsciously considers the present a stepping stone in the larger path of our life. We live in a linear frame with the present moment inextricably linked to an imagined future stepping stone. I've seen that in a business name someplace, and kind of makes sense. You're stepping into a larger path of your life. Now, this linear frame emits a subtle, sometimes imperceptible energy that keeps us at a slight distance from life. It keeps us doing something with life, making something out of it that will benefit us with our now perpetually linked to a future. We can't trust that it's safe to truly let go and surrender entirely into this moment as its own destination. To be fully in the present moment is to show up without demanding or expecting that it leads to anything else. It's to be here without using this moment to promote any particular identity or demonstrate that we are or aren't something we imagine. To be fully present is to relate to each now as a vertical eternity, a moment complete and whole, a whole hologram of everything. It is to release the idea of now as an usher between the past and the future. To live with profound presence is to trust that life will be enough, and we will be enough if we simply show up for it one moment at a time. It's to believe that, like a necklace of pearls, life can be well lived as a series of present moments strung together. The shift into this sort of presence is about letting go of the idea that we are of the directors of our life and we need to use it to achieve a particular agenda. When we pay attention to our senses without judgment, interruption, or agenda and refrain from engaging in thinking, we start to experience at a gut, heart, and mind level that simply taking care of our now is the most skillful and successful means for taking care of our future and ending up where we want. It's much easier than we're conditioned to believe. Counter to everything we're taught, the best way to create a joyful life is to pay attention to this moment. And then the next, and then the next. We can only learn this truth through practice. Attending to now is all we've ever really needed to do. Practices for being present? Take a few minutes each day to drop out of your mind and into your body. Feel the experience of right now as it's happening in your senses. Allow your attention to sink into frame, into your body. Sense the felt experience of returning your attention to your own physical being. Feel the sense of relief, calm, joy, or whatever arises as you bring your body your full attention. Feel the, yes, I'm here with you. I'm home. As you go through your day, notice the subtle drive to live the present moment as a means to an end. Notice the spur to do something with the moment. See if you can drop that agenda. Practice surrendering into now without any thought or plan for future. Play with living in this moment as if there really is nowhere else to go. Give yourself permission throughout the day to require only one thing from yourself, that you show up for this now. Approach it as an experiment to discover if taking care of your present moment, and only your present moment, can be good to generate a good life. So it was written by Nancy Collier, a psychotherapist, interfaith minister, public speaker, workshop leader, and author of The Power of Off, a mindful way to stay sane in a virtual world. For more information, visit her website, nancycollier.com, NancyCollier.com. That's a pretty good little article. Headlines: you can give yourself permission to show up for the present moment and then the next. Deep within us there exists a drive to make something with our moments, to move our life in a positive direction that will create what we want. Paying attention to this moment creates your best future. Many of the moments that make up our life slip by in a cloud of extraneous thinking. And what was the other one? I think I missed the other one. Oh, last one. Living in the moment is the first step to a responsible and enjoyable life. And many of the moments that make up our life slip by in a cloud of extraneous thinking. And the finale: why paying attention to this moment creates your best future. Well, that was a great little article. Now, on to the day. Have a great one. God bless. Jim Ross out.